Hello and welcome to another update video on XRP. Here on the XRP chart, on the 4-day chart, on the larger time frame, you can see that we are dealing here with a fifth wave to the upside potentially. Yeah, wave 5, which started in April. So the thesis currently still remains that a fourth wave pullback finished there on the 7th of April. We're now in a fifth wave, which should take us into the $5 plus region. That hasn't changed. And what I'm tracking on the smaller time frame is this: wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Maybe what we'll do in this video together, maybe we're going to change the microstructure now to yellow as well. I've got slightly different colors on different time frames because you have a different level of detail and obviously different scenarios on the different time frames, but maybe we'll change that together to yellow. I do have it in blue at the moment, which is not as easy to read as yellow. So, but this is the pathway that we are tracking on the smaller time frame, yeah? Just for clarification, I think it is clear anyway. But the idea is that, yeah, as long as the April low is holding, the focus can be on that fifth wave to the upside. But obviously, I am also tracking additional micro support levels on this smaller time frame, which gives us an early signal should something break. Now, what happens if we break, just assuming what could happen technically, if we break below that April low? Would it be a disaster? Would anything change? Well, it wouldn't really change the bigger picture much, but it would mean that most likely this fourth wave is still unfolding. It wouldn't be great. I'd really like to have that April low now hold, but obviously we might be dealing with a wider wave 4. It is technically possible. So that's only going to be the preferred scenario once we start to break below support levels. Now let us take a look at the smaller time frame, and here you can see what I mean. We've got this everything highlighted here in blue. That's simply because we were tracking different scenarios before, and then there was an option for one more low. But as I explained in the last few updates over the last few weeks, the idea is that we've bottomed already. So at the moment, the focus would be here on higher prices, yeah. Overall, because we have from the April low a 5-wave move to the upside. So let's make this 5-wave pattern yellow, so it's easier to read. And then we said, look, from up here where the price topped in May, we were tracking a 5-wave decline. Why 5-wave decline? Well, actually not 5-wave decline, a 3-wave decline, but then in a 3-wave move, which is an A, B, C pattern, that C wave to the downside, yeah, was a 5-wave move, or supposed to be. And that also unfolded nicely. So what we're dealing with here, is a completed downside move. And I will share that with you. So we do have A, B, C. That's how a correction normally unfolds. And then in the C wave, we do have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the low can be in. That's my preference. That this low has actually formed. But I explained to you, we need to be mindful that there is a path towards one more low still open, which I have on the chart here. I'll leave it yellow. So we can get one more low, but the preference is that the low is already in, because I can call it 5 waves down in the C wave, yeah, in circle wave C. So I've highlighted that here with wave 2 complete in orange. That's the preference right now. When will yellow become the preference? Well, when we break below our support area. I shared that support area already yesterday, shifted it now a little bit. It has to be moved with the price as we go higher. And my communication is still unchanged. Assumption is that on Thursday, a substantial low formed, yeah. That's going to remain my view as long as we're holding above our upper Fibonacci support. I can actually call that micro support, yeah. And then what we can also do is maybe, for clarity, we will mark that in yellow as well, so it's really clear this is likely complete. But then the scenario for one more low, why not have that in blue? Yeah, and then we call it alternative 2, so it's clearer. I prefer to do these changes in color in the videos together, so you understand what's going on when you look at the live chart. You're not confused. So yeah, so this is the idea. If wave 2 bottomed, then we could be in an upside breakout. Potentially, this move up from the Thursday low looks like a diagonal pattern that might be unfolding, in which, look, this here might be a 1, 2, A, B, C in wave 3, wave 4, maybe one more high in wave 5. Then we have a proper 5-wave move based on the latest microstructure. But the idea is we're pushing higher as long as the market holds above the $2.10 level. With a structure like that, just be ready. If there is a pullback, this is the area to watch for support. Next resistances, next breakout points, you could say. I would say a smaller one here at around $2.31. Maybe a slightly more meaningful one here at around $2.36. Overall, above that, we will have additional levels like here $2.48, and a very important will be the $2.66 level. So while the bulls are trying to turn this around, based on this, it still looks like a 3-wave move. And the move up, even if it turns into 5, it could just be wave C of 4 in the blue scenario. But the extent of that wave 4 is just massive. So it's not necessarily preferred. Yeah, yellow count is preferred. Directly bullish wave count and structure is preferred. And then, yeah, I mean, when we then think this further, you know, what we're tracking here as a potential 5-wave move, the larger degree could complete again another wave 1. Okay, so this would be the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, would also be potential wave 1, and then the pullback afterwards would be a wave 2. In theory, sometimes, especially with XRP, and you see that when we go to the larger time frame, sometimes it just goes, okay? There's not always going to be another 1-2 and another 1-2 setup. Sometimes it just breaks out when we're in the 3rd wave. You know, this just can take a very direct route, and you might see very, very shallow pullbacks along the way. That's the update on XRP. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure you follow us on X as well. We're building a community there on X, formerly Twitter. Just make sure you only follow the account with the golden check mark. There are additional updates. Updates that you also don't find on YouTube, like, for example, yesterday I published an update to about SPX 6900. I know a lot of you are interested in that one, so you might be missing out if you're not here with us on X. If you're a gold member, you get all of these anyway, plus many, many more anyway, but a selection of updates are published here on X as well, and you can ask questions and much more. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.